Good morning, students.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Are you ready for a spelling lesson?
Yes, sir.
Very good, and you may be seated. Okay, for this part of the spelling lesson, we're going to do the sentence analysis. And this is where I will read a sentence to you, and then we're going to say the sentence together. And as soon as we're finished saying the sentence, and so the first thing we need to do actually is put our pencils down, because we have to try to do this in our mental image first. If we try to write too quickly, it makes everything fall out of our brain. And that doesn't help us to remember it, does it? So we're going to try to do it all in our mental image, and then we'll be able to remember it because we can see it in our mental image. So I'll read a sentence, and then we'll repeat the sentence together. And as soon as we're finished repeating the sentence together, we're going to say all together the verb. What kind of a word is a verb? It's a doing word. So we'll listen for the doing word. And we have to find the doing word first because all comprehension questions in English have to be asked of the doing word. So as soon as we know the doing word, then we can figure out which questions are asked or answered in that sentence. And then we'll ask the questions and answer them. When we're finished with that, then we'll write it. And we'll try to do it from our mental image, from memory. Okay, but we're not going to try to memorize a sentence, because if you try to memorize it, you'll forget it. But if you try to see it in your mental image and remember the doing word, then it will help us to remember. Does that sound good? All right, so one more time, I'm going to read the sentence. We'll all repeat the sentence together. We'll say the verb, which is the doing word. And then we'll ask and answer all of the comprehension questions in the sentence, and then we'll write. So we don't need our pencils just yet. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here's the first sentence. Bob is making a present for Bill. Bob is making a present for Bill. Doing word?
Making.
Is making. You ready? So let's say it one more time. Bob is making a present for Bill. Doing word is making. First question answered? What's the first question in that sentence? What's the answer to the first question? What's the first word of the sentence?
Bob.
Bob. Bob answers what question?
Who?
Who. So let's say that together. Who, Bob. The next word we already know, it's is making, and that was the doing word. So we'll say doing, is making.
Is making.
What's the next part of the sentence?
A present.
What question does a present answer?
Who?
Does it answer who is? It answers what is Bob making? A present. And then what's the last part of the sentence?
Bill. Bill.
For Bill. And that tells the answer to the question, for whom does Bob make the present? Okay, so let's say it all together now. Are you ready? We'll repeat the sentence, the doing word, and the comprehension questions. That'll make it easier for us to write. All right, so say this with me. Bob is making a present for Bill. The doing word is making. Who? Bob. Doing. Is making. What comes next?
A present.
A present.
And that answers which question? What? A present for whom? For Bob. Oh, for Bill. For Bill, right. All right. Let's see if we can write that. Are you ready? So, and we'll write who and a colon. Does anybody know what a colon looks like? Yes, Drake.
I think it's like kind of like a comma.
Sort of, but it's two dots.
Oh, wow.
So we'll write who and then a colon. And you can look on my paper too. And what's the answer to who? Who is making a present for Bill? Bob. So we'll write Bob. And the next question that was answered is doing. Caden, do you remember what Bob is doing?
Is making a present.
Is making. That's right. Is making. So I'm going to go ahead and write a colon there, Caden, and then is making, because that's the answer to the question.
These are kind of like who do's.
You're exactly right. Do you remember doing those in the CT workbook? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And Catherine will write is making. And do you remember the next question answered?
What?
What? So let's write what. Parker, what answers the question what?
A present.
A present. And there's one more question in that sentence that's answered.
To whom?
For whom? Right, for whom? And who can tell me the answer to the question, for whom
Bill.
is Bob making a present?
Bill.
For Bill. Right, for Bill. So we write for Bill. Very good. So we write for whom. So you can just cross through that arrow. You don't need to erase it, just, there you go. Whom. And do you remember the answer for whom is Bob making a present? Right. And what kind of a letter did I need to use for both Bob and Bill?
Capital letter.
Why?
It's a special name.
Special name. And what would I put when I finish telling?
A period.
A period. So if I see a period, should I read the sentence like this? Bob is making a present for Bill. Or should I read it like this? Bob is making a present for Bill.
The first one. Second.
What was wrong with the first one, Morgan? Did it sound like I was asking a question? Right, so when we're asking a question, if you see a question mark, our voice goes up at the end. But if we're not asking a question, if we're making a statement, then our voice goes a little bit down at the end, right? So Bob is making a present for Bill. Okay? Now, what I would like you to do, let's see if we can read the sentence together. That will help us to know if we did the sentence analysis correctly, because the whole sentence should be to the right of our comprehension question. So let's see what we can do. Ready? Bob is making a present for Bill. Did we get it? Good. All right. Now what we need to do is underline the keyword. Underline the keyword. The keyword is the most important part of the sentence.
I thought the title was.
I'm sorry?
I thought the title was.
The title is the way we'll classify the keyword. Okay, so the title and the keyword go together. We have to know the keyword, and then we can create a title for the sentence. All right?
I think the keyword is making.
Making. So that's a possibility. But do you just see making?
It is making.
But can you see in your mental image is making? So we have to be able to see it for it to be the keyword. So close your eyes and tell me what you see. Bob is making a present for Bill.
I see Bob.
You see,
I see Bob making a present.
but where do you focus your attention? You see
Bob.
Bob. So what's the key word?
Bob.
Bob. Now, if we underline the wrong part of the sentence, should we quit?
No.
Retire from school?
No.
No? What should we do? Erase?
Yeah.
That's almost as bad as quitting.
Mark out.
we should just put a little mark through it, and that tells us, we thought that was the key word, but it wasn't. And the correct keyword is Bob, so we'll underline Bob. Now, we're not going to write the title right now, but we're going to see if we can think of a title for this sentence. What would the title of the sentence be? Parker?
The person that is making a present for the other person.
Do you remember the other person's name?
Bill.
For Bill. So the person who is making a present for
Bill.
Bill. Very good. Now, if I were to write that as a title, I would capitalize every word, wouldn't I? And I wouldn't put a period at the end because titles don't have punctuation at the end of them. Okay? All right. So let's repeat our first sentence. Bob is making a present for Bill. Ready for the second sentence?
Yes.
All right. He will not tell Bob what he is making. He will not tell Bob. I'm sorry, I messed that up. He will not tell Bill what he is making. So let's try that again. He will not tell Bill what he is making. What's the doing word? The verb.
He.
Can you he?
Making is making.
Is making was a verb, but it isn't the doing word in the sentence because it's not what he is doing. Yes.
Tell.
And is it just tell or will not tell?
Will not tell.
Is that something you can do? Not tell? Yes, okay. So let's repeat the sentence. Ready? He will not tell Bill what he is making. The doing word is?
Tell.
Will not tell. So now we have to find the questions. What's the first question answered? Who? He. What's the doing?
He will not.
Will not tell. Do you remember what comes next? Bill. And what question does Bill answer? Whom? And it's actually to whom because we're talking about the person to whom he won't tell. So to whom? What's the answer?
Bill.
Bill. He will not tell Bill. What's the last part of the sentence?
What he is making.
And what does that answer? What question does that answer?
What?
Does it tell us what he will not tell Bill?
Yes.
And what will he not tell Bill?
What he is.
What he is making. Very good. So let's say this together. You ready? So who, he, doing, will not tell to whom? Bill. What he is making. All right, let's see if we can write that.
Do we go ahead and do it?
Yes. Remember, he will not tell Bill what he is making. He will not tell Bill what he is making. Would anybody like me to repeat the sentence one more time?
Yes.
Would you like to repeat it with me?
Yes.
He will not tell Bill what he is making. So what won't he tell Bill?
What he was making.
Right, so write what he is making. Caden, do you know what he is making?
A present.
A present. But do you know what it is? I don't either. What he is making good. Very nice. Go ahead and write your what, Caden. And if you're finished with the sentence analysis, go ahead and underline your keyword. So if you're not writing, you should have a keyword underlined. Do you remember the what is what he is making? That's what he will not tell Bill. So let's just put a line through this and write what he is making. There you go. I don't see very many lines. Catherine has a choice. Underline your keyword. What's the worst thing that could happen if you underline a part of the sentence?
You won't know what the title can be.
You could get it wrong. Is that a horrible thing?
Yes.
Is it?
You could lower your grade.
Not when we're just doing an exercise like this, right? So would it be okay to get it wrong?
Yes.
Sure. Do you think you'll ever be very good at something if you don't make mistakes sometimes? No. So it's fine. But we want everybody to practice finding the key word, because if you don't make a choice, then you can't learn how to do it. Okay? So the important part of the sentence. Now, sometimes it helps us to understand the part of the sentence that is new information, right? So have we already met Bob?
Yes.
What do we know about Bob?
He is making a present for Bill.
Right? Have we already met Bill? What do we know about Bill?
That
Bob's making a present for him. So in this sentence, what's the key information? The most important part.
tell.
Now, does the sentence say he will tell?
He will.
He will not tell. So what's the key word? Not tell. That's right. So let's underline that. And those of you who have something else underlined, fantastic. Good job. Because that means that you were willing to make a mistake, and you made a mistake, and that's good. We can learn from it. So just put a little line through it. It's okay. You don't have to erase it. Put a little line through it, and we'll have not tell as our key word. And now we need to see if we can think of a title for this, a classification. Now, I know that you've never done this, probably ever in your life. But if somebody asks you to do something and you say that you will not do it, what are you doing?
Not doing it.
You're not doing it? And is there a word that we can use that means not to do something? If somebody asks you to do something and you say, nope, I'm not going to do it. I can think of a word that starts with an R. Yes.
Disobeying.
Oh, it could be if it's somebody, a parent or a teacher, and we should mind them. Yes, it could be disobeying. Although, is this Bob's disobedience? Did somebody, if Bob's mother said, tell Bill what you're doing, and he didn't do it, then we could say, oh, he's disobeying. But we don't know that he's disobeying in this sentence, do we?
No.
So, yes.
Refuse.
Refuse, is he refusing?
Yes.
And because when we use a title, we want to have a nice noun, and refuse is a doing word, we'll put it into its noun form, and we'll say refusal. So who could give me a nice title starting with the refusal or his refusal? Yes, Jake.
The refusing he is doing.
The refusal to do what? What is he refusing to do, Catherine?
To tell what he is making.
To tell Bill what he is making. That's right. Now, do we think that Bob is not a very well-behaved boy?
No.
No. Why is he refusing? Is it because he? Right. So we don't know that he's disobedient. As a matter of fact, he probably isn't. But we do know that this is about his refusal to tell Bill what he is making. Right? It wouldn't be a surprise otherwise, would it, Catherine?
Are we writing the title?
We're not going to write the title right now. Okay? All right, let's read the sentences together. Bob is making a present for Bill. He will not tell Bill what he is making. Ready for the next sentence? Here it is. He thinks that Bill will like it. He thinks that Bill will like it. Repeat it with me. He thinks that Bill will like it. What's the doing word? Can you he? What's the doing word? Thinks. All right, so what are the questions that are answered? First question. Who, he, doing, thinks. What's the next question?
Who from whom? Who for whom?
Well, so what's the next part of the sentence? He thinks that Bill will like it. Drake, what's the question?
What?
It's what he thinks. So that's why it's so important for us to find the verb, because it helps us to ask the question. Even though we write the short form of the question here, the whole question is not just what, it's what does he think? And that's where the verb comes in, all right? So let's say it together one more time. Who, he, doing, thinks. What's the next part, Drake? What? That Bill will like it. Okay? So let's see if we can write that. Are you ready? Let's try it. And Drake, if you can use lowercase letters, that would be good. But you don't need to change what you've already written, that's fine. Caden, do you remember what he thinks? What does he think? You have it written on your paper, Caden. What does it say? Do you see where you have it written?
That Bill will like it.
That Bill will like it. Good.
I look down at the word to see. I look down and read it, so I know it is.
Very good. And that's one of the reasons it's good for us to write these things down, isn't it? Yes, and actually when you get into the older grades, this would be a good way for you to take notes sometimes. Okay, are we ready? Now, have you underlined your keyword? And if it's wrong, that's right. We'll just learn from it, won't we? Okay, here's the sentence one more time. He thinks that Bill will like it. Caden, would you like to share with us what you think the key word is?
Will like it.
And of those three words, do you think it's most important that we say it? I mean, we know it is a pronoun. That's what we call it. It's a part of speech. It stands for what? What is it? Now, you don't need to erase it. I'm just asking. What is it? What does he think Bill will like? The present, right? But they didn't even think that present was important enough to put it into this sentence. Present said, I'm not going out in the cold. I'll make it go into the sentence for me. So of those words, Caden, what do you think is most important?
Like.
And will like, I agree. Will like is good, okay? So, Caden, tell us one more time. What's the key word?
Will like.
Will like.
I thought it was thanks. Me too.
And that's all right. One of the things that we'll find is that a lot of times we'll be tempted to think that the doing word is the key word, but it isn't always the key word. You know, if thinks was the key word, what we would really be saying is that the author was trying to tell us that Bill could think, or that Bob could think. Did you kind of already know that Bob could think?
Yeah.
It wasn't a surprise to you? Now, maybe if we're talking about a jellyfish and we said that the jellyfish thinks, can a jellyfish think?
Yeah.
Why can't a jellyfish think?
Because it has no brain.
It doesn't have a brain.
Doesn't have a brain.
It's hard to think without a brain, isn't it? Right. So, but we probably already knew that Bob could think, and so even though sometimes it feels like it could be the key word, really it's that will like.
What's the present?
We don't know what the present is yet. No? All right, so if will like is our key word, how could we title the sentence? Have you ever received a present?
Yeah. Yes.
Have you ever liked a present?
Yes. Yes.
What is that when you like something? It's your, what, Colton? I'm sorry, Drake?
How much he likes it.
Perhaps, although it didn't measure for us how much. In other words, it didn't say he'll like it better than any present he's ever received, or he'll like it a little bit. We just know that he thinks he will like it. So if you like something, that's your what?
Present. I forgot.
Okay, Parker?
Action.
Your action. Now, if you do something, that's your action. But if somebody does something or gives you something, it's called your
Response.
reaction or response. Both of those would be good. So is this Bill's reaction? Is that what the sentence is?
Yes.
Is it?
No. No.
What is it? Do we know that Bill will like this present?
No.
So what is this sentence about?
The probability that Bill will.
The probability. But who is establishing this probability? Who thinks Bill will like it?
Bob.
Bob. So is this the reaction Bob thinks? Can you finish that for me? The reaction Bob thinks,
Of the present.
but he thinks who will have this reaction? Bill. So would a good title be the reaction Bob thinks Bill will have?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, and would that be a positive reaction or a negative reaction?
Positive.
It would be a positive reaction. You think Bob would make him a present if he didn't anticipate a positive reaction? No, I don't think so either. All right, let's read our sentences so far. Bob is making a present for Bill. He will not tell Bill what he is making. He thinks that Bill will like it. Next sentence. He will have to finish it next week. He will have to finish it next week. Let's repeat it one more time and listen for the doing word, all right? He will have to finish it next week. Let's say it together. He will have to finish it next week. What's the doing word? Finish is part of it. Sometimes the doing word can be more than one word. Now, can you it? No, so it's not part of the doing. What else is part of the doing? Can you next week? No, it has to be doing. Listen one more time. He will have to finish it next week.
To finish.
What's the doing word?
To finish.
How about will have to finish? All of that is his doing, isn't it?
Yes.
Right? Will have to finish. That's the doing. All right, so let's say the sentence again. He will have to finish it next week. The doing word is will have to finish. What's the first question answered?
Next week.
But the first question. Who, he, doing. What's the doing? Will have to finish. What? It. What question does next week answer? When? Next week. All right? So who, he, doing will have to finish. What? It. When? Next week. Yes, Drake.
If you don't have enough room, do you flip it
Absolutely. That would be fine.
Can we go to the next paper?
That would be fine.
Do we write does next week's week answer when?
That's right, it does. Good job, Parker. And actually, it answers the question, when will he have to finish it?
Can you repeat the sentence?
I will be happy to repeat the sentence for you. He will have to finish it next week. Do you remember the questions? Okay. So has he finished yet?
No.
And have you underlined your key word? You'll have to finish it. So, have to finish, yeah.
All that swapping out.
And Drake, would you spell week for me, please?
Week. W-E-E-K.
That's right, good. Is there another word that says week that's spelled differently?
W-E-A-K.
And so it's important for us to have the correct spelling, isn't it? He'll have to finish it, and then when next week. Okay, so go ahead and write when next week.
Is next week a compound word? Do we put it together?
No, it's two separate words, next and then week. Very nice. You will have to finish it next week. Now underline your keyword. Tell me what you think is most important. Parker, do you have your keyword underlined?
Yes.
Good for you. All right, let's try this. On the count of 3, we're all going to say the keyword together. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. So, and you know, it's interesting that basically what we've chosen is the whole sentence. And that's true that we should be able to see the whole sentence in our mental image. But for us to really understand it, it's good for us to know exactly which part is most important. So we can't say have to finish it next week, because that's 3 comprehension questions. That's everything except for he, and we knew he wasn't important. It's a pronoun, right? So we need to choose of those which is most important. Now, if we said that he's making a present for Bob. Did we know he would have to finish it at some point? Is that a surprise to you?
Yeah.
It is? If I said make a present for your mother, would I expect you to finish it?
No.
Yes.
Would you give her an unfinished present?
No.
No. So it is important that he will have to finish it, but that's not the most important thing because we already knew. So what information is really important for us right now? Yes.
To finish it.
But we kind of probably already knew that he would need to finish it. If he's going to make a present, you can't say I made Bill a present and not finish it. Could you?
No.
Try this sometime. If your teacher gives you homework, don't finish it until you did your homework. Do you think she'll accept that?
No.
No. All right. So what else could be the key word in this sentence? Parker?
Next week.
Next week. Next week. What does next week tell us?
When
He'll finish.
It does tell us when, but we don't want our title to start with when because when starts a question, and that makes us sound unsure of ourselves. So what information does it give us? If it answers the question when, it tells us the It could, except for the date usually means it has to have a month and a day. So what else could it tell us? A word that's a little less specific than date starts with a T, Catherine. The time. The time. Or what time is this? The time.
Next week.
Well, next week is the time, but we want to know in this sentence, next week tells us the time that what?
He will finish it.
That he will or has to?
Has
That he has to finish it, right? The time that he has to finish it. Can you say that with me? The time that he has to finish it. All right, we have one sentence left, and this is a different kind of a sentence. So we're going to read our first 4 sentences together, and then we're going to discuss our last sentence. Are you ready? Okay. So, I got it wrong. Bob is making a present for Bill. He will not tell Bill what he is making. He thinks that Bill will like it. He will have to finish it next week. Here's the next sentence. Listen carefully so you can repeat it with me. What do you think it is? What do you think it is? Let's all say it together. What do you think it is? What kind of a sentence is that? Parker?
About what we think it might be.
But it's a what about what you think it might be, yes.
Question.
It's a question. It's a question. How could you tell it was a question? Yes.
Gone up at the end.
My voice went up at the end. That's why it's important for my voice not to go up when it's not a question, isn't it? Let's repeat the question. You ready? What do you think it is? Now, when we ask a question, we tend to put words in a different order than we would for a normal sentence. So the easiest way for us to do the sentence analysis for this is to really listen for the doing word, and then also to listen for what we will eventually call the subject, the who of this sentence. All right? And then we'll be able to find the what pretty easily. So let's listen for it. I will read the sentence to you one more time, and I want you to tell me what the doing word is. Are you ready? What do you think it is? What's the doing word?
What?
Tanner.
What?
Can you what? I can't what either. Yes. Think. Now, listen, there's one more part of a doing word in the sentence. Let's hear if you can hear the doing word in the sentence. Are you ready? What do you think it is? What's the other part of the doing?
It is.
What do? It's do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is the ultimate doing word, isn't it? Can you do? I can do. Can you do? Right, so that's a good doing word. So the doing word is, let's say it together, do, think. Now we need to ask the who question, because every sentence has to have a who and a doing. They don't have to have all the other questions answered, but they all have to have a who and a doing. So who thinks in this question?
Bill.
What do you think?
You.
So what's the who in this sentence?
You.
You. What do you think? So they're asking, the question is of, are they asking Bill this question? So far as we know, Bill doesn't even know that there's a present. Does he? So we're in on a little secret maybe.
It says, Bob won't tell Bill what it is, so I don't get how, Bill doesn't know if there's a present.
Well, maybe Bill doesn't know that Bob's even making him a present. We don't know, but we know that he's making him a present. So the question is asked of us. So what do you think it is? Now, one of the ways that we can write the question, I'm going to put this one on the board for you, is we can write the question, what? And we can answer it, what do you think? It is. And of course, that's the whole question, isn't it? But there are two parts of that sentence that we've already found as being answers to comprehension questions. And that the part is who and doing. The who and the doing. And so what we're going to do is put the who and the doing in parentheses. Okay? And then the next comprehension question that we'll write, so that helps us to remember the order, because we don't want to get the order of the question incorrect. So we'll write the doing, and do you remember what the doing is?
What do you think? Do and think.
Do and think. But in the question, do and think are separated, so we'll write do you, and we'll still keep you. And then think. What do you think? And then what's the who? You may write this down. What word answers who in this question?
You.
You. Okay, what do you think it is?
Does
Now-
it have to be in the same order as you?
Yes. And here's a good hint that I'll tell you. Don't tell the 5th grade teacher that I've told you this hint, okay? It'll be our little secret. But you can use it when you get into 5th grade, I promise. If the teacher ever stops and writes something on the board, guess what's a good idea?
Write it down.
To write it down.
I knew that already.
You already knew that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Miss Kurt told us.
Did she? Now, if you have it written down, what do you need to write or need to do? Underline your
Keyword.
keyword. What do you think it is? What do you think it is? Good, Drake. And then you can write your who question. All right, now I want to see some keywords underlined. What do you think it is? Okay, who thinks they have the keyword? Let's see. Tell me your name again, please.
Stockton.
Stockton. Stockton, what do you think is the keyword?
Do think.
And which is more important, you or think?
Think.
Think. Very good. The key word is think.
I got part of it right.
Yes, good. Good for you. Isn't it exciting to get the keyword right?
I got do you think. I got half right. Do we underline
Think.
both of them?
You can just underline this one because it's in the doing. That's a good question. Think. All right, so if we're thinking about something, what are we being asked to do? Do you know what the present is?
No.
So what are you trying to do?
Figure it out.
Trying to figure out or to guess it. So could we say this is the question we're asked to guess?
Yes.
Yes. To guess what it is, right? Does anybody have a guess? Drake?
Maybe like some kind of like a toy train or a toy car.
Could be a toy train or a toy car, Parker. What do you think it is?
Probably like a little project.
Project. Stockton, what do you think it is?
A ball.
A what?
A ball.
A ball? That could be. Catherine, I'll tell you what I hope it isn't. A tuna fish sandwich.
Ew. Yummy.
Well, now I like tuna fish sandwiches, but I don't think I would like one that was begun this week and had to be finished next week.
That's what it was?
I hope not. I don't think so. Yes, Colton. What do you think it is?
I think it's like a,
You think it's a toy?
I think it is like a note.
Could be. What do you think?
I think it's a guitar.
Maybe a guitar. Very good. That would take a while to finish. Yes, one more.
A bike.
A bike. And Catherine, what do you think it is?
A toy boat.
Toy boat, good. All right, so we've reached the end of our lesson. So what I'd like you to do, you can take your pencils because I believe those are your pencils, but please leave your papers on your desk. And then those of you who are at the table can stand and come over and thank me for the lesson. Okay? And go ahead and push in your chairs too, please. You may write your name, but you don't need to.
Those are mine, juggling. 'Cause I dropped one.
That's fine. Here you are. Great. Would you like to shake hands and say thank you for the lesson?
These aren't my pencils. This isn't my pencil.
You're welcome. Did you enjoy the lesson? Very good.
Thank you for the lesson.
You're welcome. Do you think Bill is a lucky boy? I do too.
Thank you for the lesson.
You're welcome. Do you think Bob is a generous boy? Me too. You're welcome, Drake. And what do you think the present would be?
No one can look at my car.
Very good. You're welcome. Did you enjoy the lesson, Catherine? Good. You're welcome. Thank you.